Hi, we're back for Friday Soul Chat. Um, so far in the first three videos that we've done, I've tried to break people up simply into three different categories, not because I think that that's realistic as to how people really are, that we can put people in categories, but just to find a way to think so that we can talk about this and address some of these issues. So the first one that we had talked about in the first video had to do more with the person that gets their self-worth by being the good person. Like they are always looking to see what needs they can meet of you, or how they can be there for you. They just have ways that they can even sometimes predict ahead of time what it is that you might need, and they get accolades for that. So that it's like people are like, wow, you're so helpful, you're so, and all that's good stuff. But the problem with it is it only if you're leaving out your own heart. And then that's when it becomes bondage, because if I'm loving you or giving to you based on having to get a certain response from you, then you're controlling me. Like I have to have you appreciate it. Of course, inside, I long for someone to appreciate something that I do for them, but it's not my life and death. It's not my thing I'm going to dwell on if I don't get the response that I need or want. But if you've grown up getting your needs met that way, it's a very hard addiction to break. But it needs to happen in order for your soul and to heal, and for you to be able to grow. So that would be the thing of that one. And it's like you can't even be honest with yourself if you're focused on the other person all the time. And what I happen to see with this particular category of people is, as they age and get older, there is a bitterness that starts to evolve, because they can't understand why they don't ever get to be priority, or why no one ever comes to help them with their needs. But they're so focused on other people. You're teaching other people basically that you don't have needs, and you don't want to do that. And so we don't go that way. Now with the other second category had to do more with the person that is, when they start feeling like things are getting too intimate or vulnerable, they can become very intimidating. And so they intimidate you. And so that kind of like, you're teaching people, don't get too close to me. You can get close, but not too close, because they will find a way to, ruin it or sabotage it or blow it. And so you're trying to get close to them, but you can't. And then they don't understand that it's because they're unapproachable that this is happening to them. And they end up, as they age and mature and get older, they end up feeling very lonely, because they don't know they're not approachable. And then the third category was the person that was more ambivalent, hard to pin down. They're basically disloyal and betraying you, because they'll act on one hand like you're their priority, but if something better comes up, guess what? Sorry, we're not going to be able to get together. So, it always makes sense to them. So that's why remember, we can't have a conversation with them, because you can't pin them down, so that it makes it they're very slippery. So it's very hard to get them into a conversation where anything can really get healed or restored. And so, the main thing is that all of the categories, what everybody needs is, from trauma growth, is boundaries. And boundaries are not walls. Boundaries are, like, let's say for the first person that just, gives a lot or whatever, it's basically letting other people know you have needs. Like, I'm sorry, I would love to do that for you, because remember, you taught them that you always come through. I would love to do that for you, but I am feeling tired today, or I've got too much going on. I'm going to start lightening up my schedule. And you can only say that if you're willing to lose the relationship. And I know that's a big deal. I'm not minimizing that, but it's like, what are your choices? To lose your soul over doing something kind for them? No. And so, and then with the person that's unapproachable, they have to realize that their part in it is they have to become more inviting of people. They have to see that they have to make it safe. Once it's safe for themselves and they've gone through their own healing of trauma, they then have the ability to create a safety for you. So when their tendency would be to maybe get angry or do something to push you away, they catch themselves, and then they're able to make an environment that's more inviting. Or they know to say to you, oh, I'm sorry I reacted that way, but I really would like to hear what you have to say to me. See the difference? And so, and then, that way it's like, if they can't even be pinned down with you, trust me, that's what's going on inside of them. It's kind of like what they're like is that it's like pulling that thing back on a pinball machine and going boom, 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 bumper to bumper to bumper. And they don't understand why that's happening, but that's how their life is going. So that's why having boundaries and them not being walls is boundaries actually allow you to take the time to take care of yourself, so that you're filling your heart up, you're not in bondage to other people, you have the soul freedom to be engaged with someone and not have to have it go a certain way. And then if it goes away where you're feeling hurt, or that they're not treating you well, then you're able to just be in touch with that sooner. And it grows with time. The more you go in this direction, the faster it'll occur to you that this person, they're really not being, that kind to me. I don't know if I want to spend that much time with them. And that's not unloving. That's doing them a favor and you a favor, because they need to, again, like we've said, they need to be able to realize that their choices have an impact on people, and it's having an impact on you. So you want to be able to do that so that you can have the freedom in your soul to do the growing that you need. And the answer is never to just avoid relationships. So you got to find a way, after having that part of your heart that was so precious and vulnerable when you were growing up as a little kid, like, how do I find a way now to take care of me so that I can give to other people? How can I find a way to not allow people, even well-meaning people, to use spiritual comments or whatever to try to get me to go back to my old ways? No, you don't want to do that. That's the spiritual bypassing thing. And then that's not healing. That's another form of denial. So, you don't want to now find a spiritual way to deny after you just got out of trauma, because that's still not going to have you heal. So anyhow, I guess what I'm trying to say is that just try to start thinking of these categories. And the thing is that nobody's just even all one kind of those three ways. Like, I might be one style with one person, and another person might elicit another style out of me, and people that I feel safer with, I might be more, the whole tougher thing with, because that you can get away with it, and that's not good. And so you want to be able to find a way that you can love other people. And yes, you might still get hurt, because nobody's perfect, but not in a way that's going to neglect or affect your growth. That's the primary thing. So let's see what happens if you start thinking about some of these things and seeing what you think is going on internally with you, as you start watching yourself and your relationships and how you talk to yourself, and just see how free you can be to just be yourself, to just have your own soul freedom, and not have to feel like you have to be someone ever that you're not. As soon as that clicks in front of you, then something's going on. And check in with yourself. Check your dashboard light, so to speak, and kind of see, am I feeling angry? Am I feeling this? Frustrated? Am I feeling this? Because the odds are it's going to take a while for you to realize it. So, maybe by the 5th time it's happening, then you'll go, oh, wow, I don't like how this is going. But then eventually it'll be the 3rd time, and then the 2nd time, and then the first time. And so you'll get better and better and better at being able to pick up what's really going on, so you don't stay in a situation that's not good for you and not good for them. Because the whole key, the whole bottom line here is, how can I become someone who loves better? I want to love, no matter how badly I've suffered, no matter how badly I've been mistreated and hurt. I still want to love other people, and I want to love them well. And that's what I want for you. So let's keep going, and we'll see what happens next Friday and go from there. So for now, see you next Soul Chat Friday, and love you guys. Have a great weekend and enjoy yourselves, and try to just see what you can find and be creative in ways that you can be loving yourself. And then we'll talk more about healing of trauma specifically in the videos after that. All right, take care. Bye-bye.